Hey guys, this is Camfrey15, joined by my co-host, the Red Wolf. And
Was
looks like you
that?
want to tell me something.
Yes, I was. I was just gonna mention that I feel like you're gonna have a complaint about this episode, considering it has CGI.
No, not really. The CGI
Okay.
wasn't bad. It
Okay.
wasn't bad.
Yes. I would. It's just that I saw the CGI in this episode, and I was like, I have a feeling that Cameron's gonna say something about that. I have a feeling because I know how much of a problem he has with CGI.
As long as it flows fine, and it's not something where it gets on my nerves and they're using it 24/7 during the battle, then fine. But listen, I'm okay with a little CGI in it, but not a lot. I don't want CGI on my anime productions.
Can you guys
Anyway,
believe? Can you guys believe? Well, maybe that's just me, but I have a feeling that that's the reason why this guy cannot get into God Eater.
could be.
The CGI in there is good though.
Anyways, we're not talking about God Eater. We're talking about Dragon Quest Adventure of Die.
Of course not. You haven't watched it.
I know. And yes, again, I know. Now, I think I said last week we were gonna do this review on Friday, but it didn't happen. Listen, I was coaching a game on Friday. It wasn't a late night game; it was an afternoon game, and I had to finish up some homework on Friday night. That was due essentially Friday night. So that's why I had to delay it till today. But otherwise, this Dragon Quest episode was just all out brawl. A tag team battle, as they might say, between Hadlar's Royal Guard and I guess you can say the heroes of the hero. I don't know. I don't know what you call their team. I'm just gonna call them the heroes. That's it. I think that's proper enough because they're all heroes.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
they don't really specify what to call them. It's just Die the Hero and his friends.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you can say that. But yes. We see the other Royal Guard members in action. We see what they can really do. They're all threatening, and even though they kind of leave us off on a cliffhanger where it's like, oh, are they dead? I highly doubt they're dead because that would just be way too easy.
Yeah, but then again, they never showed up in the preview of the next episode. So
Yeah, because they're probably hiding it. They probably don't want to spoil it for people who do watch the preview. Why would you do that? It's like, well, they probably did that because they want for shock value. I don't think the Royal Guard members are dead one bit. I feel like there's too much of them, to like we can settle this down the road, like in the final battles and stuff like that. But I don't think Hadlar's Royal Guards are dead. I think they're still all alive, and they somehow must have survived the attack or got out of there instantly. Now how? We don't know, but we'll get to that. Yeah. So, this is Dragon Quest Adventure of Die episode 49. Essentially coming off last week with the ignorant, selfish Nova. At least he's actually a hero in some sense in this episode.
mm-hmm.
But we see Mom and Crocodile alongside Hugh Nickel, who showed up last week. Essentially, go on to say join them, and essentially the Royal Guard's like, well. It seems like we got 5 and you got 5, and it seems like we gotta just have an all-out brawl, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, what is where essentially Hugh Nickel brings up the fact like he's not dead yet. I thought his head would have been his core. I don't know, brain maybe. But where does him say the Royal Guard members' cores are at?
Just what you'd expect. The chest area.
Yes, which essentially is just like them, where their hearts are located at. And obviously the thing is, they're planning like, well, we got to use our air slash, which is really only between Die and Hinical, to take them out. So anyways, this is when we kind of start off their fight. Mom is fighting Sigma. Dai is fighting against him because at first, what is it? Him wants to get revenge on Nickel for, well, impaling him in the head. But Albanos is like, no, I'll take him. And him's like, you don't know what he just did to me. I want to kill him and want him to put his head on a pike.
That really hurt his pride, huh?
I guess so. Crocodile went up against Block. Nickel fought Albanus, and then I forgot the person's name, the pawns piece that are the chess piece where Pop was fighting. I forgot his name. He was essentially the dude that has blades all over his body.
Well, he's the bishop, that's all I can say.
Yeah, the bishop. I'm just gonna call him the bishop. I forgot what his official name was. I guess I can ask you, what was your favorite fight out of all the 5v5 members?
That's a tough question.
I think before I interrupt you, I think we can rule out Crocodile versus Block because Crocodile got smashed.
Yes. Poor guy.
I will say my favorite was probably Sigma versus Mom because it was high octane, high action type of speed.
Yeah. I'd say that's actually my favorite, actually. Because
yeah. Because literally it was like, oh, Mom can't get stabbed and stuff like that because he's like, oh. And also, Mom's also trying to break his shield, which she doesn't. And stuff like that. But that was cool. I did like Dai versus him. Now, what was the interesting thing about that fight that was happening?
Well, Dai for one cannot pull out her sword for some reason.
Yes, which we'll get into a bit. No, I guess you could say Pop is kind of struggling against the Bishop character. How he cuts his new staff, and I'm like, well, so much for that new staff, huh? I guess Leona's gonna have to try to give him another one because he cuts that in half easily. And he just goes and say, my body is made full of blades. You will be cut up soon enough. I'm like, okay. So Pop isn't doing any damage against these guys. Wonderful. And they're all kind of struggling, to be honest. They're not like doing really well. Now, Nickel in his fight against Albanus is not really a fight. They're just like honest to God talking. Now, he does go in for an attack and he kind of cuts her a bit, but nothing much. You know, they're all getting owned. Crocodile's literally having Block break his back on his freaking body. And I'm like,
dang.
Okay. Okay, Crocodile's getting his ass kicked. Wow. All right. You know, it's kind of an even matchup between Mom and Sigma, to be honest. Dai, to an extent, is getting his butt kicked because he thinks he's got the upper hand on him, but Kim's just like, no, don't worry. I like the whole cool moment because Dai, he can't use the sword. He's using, obviously, the blade of Papnika. I like the cool thing when, you know, it looked like he was going to hit him, but him's just standing on his little tiny blade. And I was like, oh, okay.
So what? He thinks he's Frieza now?
No. Wait. What? There was another anime where a character did something like that, where they're standing on the blade.
I'm
trying to think of it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think too. I remember seeing that somewhere.
I don't remember. Well, I guess we're just gonna have to. I guess I'm gonna have to somehow find after the video. But I know there was another character that stood on a blade, simple like that, and just easily beat up the main character or something like that. I forgot. I know I seen another anime that happened like that.
If you guys have seen anime where you see like this character like standing on the blade after that character tried to swing that blade, put it down in the comments and let us know.
Yeah. I have a strange feeling like it may come from One Piece. I don't know.
Could be.
Anyways. Now during the entire fight, essentially Albanus kind of just tells, Hinako like, well, you think we're all weak because of our chess pieces and the titles we have. You think I'm the strongest because I'm the queen, and you probably think him's the weakest because he's the pawn. And even because Hineko's like, why do you have our best guy fighting the pawn? isn't the pawn the weakest chess piece? And Albanus is kind of like, well, yeah, you're right, but you see, in the game of chess, what you need to understand is any piece on the board can be just as strong, which is honest to God true.
She makes a very good point right there.
Listen, I'm not no chess, master, but I can know you can make a fucking pawn destroy almost everybody on the field if you play your cards right.
Yeah. Well, thanks to a few episodes ago where the Dark King explains the game of chess, I think I got the gist.
Yes. Now, again, like I said, everyone's having a hard time against the Royal Guard. It looks like Dai.
Pause.
Okay.
Sorry. Had to.
Dai looks like because he's trying to pull out his sword, but he can't. His sword's just not activating. Which obviously we know at this point is, well, Dai is definitely stronger than him. He just can't, doesn't realize that. Now, we go into that later. Now, him starts to look like he's doing this, like, I guess you can say fire fist. It's called heat fist. And he's like, you're gonna die, Dai. But who manages to save Dai?
Oh, Nova. Coming in the clutch.
Yes, he grabs whatever's left off remain of now first he saves Pop from damn near getting his head cut off. By doing more of his aura blades, and he asks Pop, give me your staffs, and then he puts aura around that and he throws it at him, and it kind of it stops him from attacking Dai, but Dai obviously thanks him for saving him, and he's like, well, that's what a hero does, right? So hey, one more little point he has to make before he passes out, right? So essentially what happens, we kind of get a flashback to the training with Dai and Hunical, but it's mainly for Dai's purpose. Now, we find out that Lord Baruch, told Dai that the reason he can't draw a sword is because he has the inability, because of the inability to read his opponents, essentially. Essentially, I guess you can say gauging his opponent's power level, from what it sounded like, to be honest. So maybe Dai is not a master at that yet, along with the fact, Baruch told him, you still forgot what? Have you forgot that, only your sword can draw against opponents that it deems worthy of challenging? And to his sword, it feels like none of the freaking Royal Guard members, well, he only fought him. We don't know what it's like against any of the other ones. From the standpoint that, well, maybe to him, the pawn piece, his sword is like, you don't need my help on this. You're definitely strong enough to take him out without my help. So, yeah, listen, the whole thing about the sword being, I guess, activated based on opponent's strength, I'm not trying to say, like, it's weird and stupid, but in some cases it kind of is. I don't know why they would do that, but I guess I can understand.
Have you seen the destructive power of that sword?
Oh, I was about to say, so maybe it's just a way to handicap the sword so it doesn't make Dai too overly powerful, I'm guessing you can say. But at the same time, there's a part of me that's like, it's still a really stupid side plot that it's like, oh, it can only draw against an opponent that's it deems worthy and necessary. Why can't he just draw it and just use it? But then again, I understand the sword is made of like one of the hardest metals in the Dragon Quest world. And we saw the destructive power. He took out a whole ass golem with this one sword and one slice. So I can definitely understand. So yeah. And definitely you can tell by the piece, the chess piece's reaction. They're like, if Dai pulls out that sword, we're fucked.
That's basically the gist, yeah.
So yeah. Anyways, what happens is, Dai just charges up and uses his draconic aura. He starts fighting him, and then Hunical says, throw him to me. So then what does Hunical try to do?
He tries to do an air thrust. And he misses the heart of it all. And he hits him's arm instead.
Yes, which is very badly damaged. Now, what was the reason why he missed?
Oh yeah, because the needle that the queen pierced him with.
And she goes on to say that in one needle is like very fatal based on how you take it out. So it's like, oh. So they call over mom to heal up Hunicle and everything. So what was one of the craziest things we see in this episode after him can't move his arm essentially?
Or when he asked to get his arm cut off.
Yeah, now I don't know if this was you. I thought he was gonna do the whole Namekian thing from Dragon Ball where he regrows his arm. But he can't do that.
Yeah, I guess they never did say that they have regenerative abilities.
Yeah, so we literally have him fighting Dai again with one freaking arm. That's how determined these guys are.
Is that an advantage or a disadvantage? We do not know.
Yeah, essentially Pop also goes to make the mention to the rest of the team that I think we work better working and fighting together as a team compared to fighting our individual battles. Because they're just taking our own strengths and using it against us. Mm-hmm. So that's when Pop comes with the idea, listen, you have to get rid of the Sigma shield so I can be able to charge up for Midoriya or Midoriya or something like that. My grand spell so I can be able to finish them all off. So we get a nice tag team effort between Hunicle, Mom, Dai, and Crocodile to essentially stall enough time. And you get this nice moment in the whole fight where Crocodile's using his Beast Redemption Blast against Sigma. Sigma's trying to block it.
This new version of it is actually pretty dope. I'm just gonna.
You can go ahead.
Yeah. So he's like blasting his one Beast King Redemption Blast, and then all of a sudden he charges up another in his other hand, and makes a spiral in the opposite direction. So that's what he was pretty much practicing in the water, actually.
Yeah.
Dang. That's pretty dope.
It manages to do enough damage to where it actually takes off Sigma's arm, or his hand that holds the shield, and the Pop gets ready to fire off the blast. He fires off his arrow, and while all the Royal Guard members are all there after being set up there, they are hit by the attack, and there's nothing left of them from what we know, and that's how the episode ends off. So, good episode. I did like the battles in this episode. I really did like the battles. It was really good action stuff. But again, I don't believe the Royal Guard members are dead. That'd just be way too easy for them to go out like that. Like, I think they would be smart enough to know that, they're luring us to be all together. I saw that way, and it's like there's no leftover remains, no nothing. Now, yes, you can say, well, frickin' Pop made a huge ass crater, but it's like if they really are taken out, I'll be highly, and I mean highly disappointed, because then it's like, what's the point of introducing these characters if they're gonna be taken out just like that easy? And they've only been in like 4, 5, 6 episodes.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that they're not dead. If they are, what the hell is the point of that? I just feel like that's just a rush to get to the final battles. I still think they're alive because, let's be honest, I don't think the Dark Forces have like a high army number left. Like, there was them, Hadlar, and what's his name? Kilvern and Vern. Unless they have some secret dark army left over. I don't know. But who knows? Listen, that's all the episode. It seems like next week's gonna be focusing around Mr. Chu. I'm not gonna say that this episode might not be interesting, but it doesn't look like it's gonna be an interesting episode next week. That's just my opinion from what I saw from the next episode preview. That's just me.
We shall see. We shall see.
Yeah, this show has, surprises week to week. So I'm not trying to give up and saying, I'm not going to watch. I'm going to throw away this week's episode. It looks like it's going to be pretty damn important. It's just trailer-wise from the next episode preview, it's like, I don't know if I'm going to like this episode. I don't know if I'm not going to. But again, with Dragon Quest, with this anime, I think it's something we have to just watch and see how it turns out.
Mm-hmm.
But You thought this episode was good?
I thought it was fine. Yeah, it was pretty good. I like it.
Other than that, anything else to say? Are we good to go?
I think we're good, man.
All right. So if you guys liked the video, please leave a like. Put in the comment section your thoughts on this week's episode of Dragon Quest, as well as hit the subscribe button to not only my channel but my co-host channel for his YouTube content he has over there. And when you do, make sure you hit the notification bell icon for both our channels to make sure you're up to date with whatever you upload to the channel, since we know YouTube is buggy with updating subscribers about uploads and stuff like that.
I'm just worried that something might happen to me like it happened to Corey Kenshin, where he gets a strike for a copyright or something. I'm just worried.
Well, you got to be careful with what you put on your channel and stuff like that, I guess you can say.
Anything can happen, though. I don't know.
Anything can happen. Anyways, guys, we're gonna get out of here, guys. Hopefully, it's a great rest of your day or night when you check out this video. Until then, guys, see you guys in the next video. Until then, guys,
Peace.